class, if you haven't done so already, can you please title all of these notes that we've been taking, example 1A, 1B, and 2A, can you title them 3.1 algebraic expressions? This is so that you can stay neat and organized before you study for a test. It'll be easier to look back. Awesome. Let's go ahead and do B. So this goes under, this goes under example 2. You don't have to rewrite it. It's there in your notes, but I have to because I erased my whiteboard. Example 2, simplifying an expression. Remember when I did that? And you guys did so great on your own problem. All right, let's go ahead and do B. Now, please, do not fear, do not fret. It's a little more complicated, but the same steps apply. So, please write the following: 3/4, yep, fractions, rational numbers. 3/4 y plus 12 minus 1/2, yes, another fraction that does not have the same denominator. It's because I care for you guys. Minus 1/2 y minus 6. I'm going to give you some time to write that. I'm going to change my color. Okay, now the first step, same step, even though there's a couple more complicated numbers, coefficients in front of the variables, the same step must take place to rewrite as, not the difference, but a sum. Rewrite as sum. So please, class, help me identify those subtractions going on. 3/4 y plus 12, nope, not going to touch that, minus 1/2 y, so I'm going to popcorn, minus 6 popcorn. Very good. Now go ahead and rewrite that. 3/4 y plus 12 plus negative 1/2 y plus negative 6. Now class, please notice that it's so important to keep your notes neat and to keep all of your work neat from here on out. And when I say on out, that means for the rest of your life, because math is going to get a little more complicated and you need to keep it neat so you don't lose a negative sign along the process. Okay. Now I'm going to think about what would be most helpful for me as the solver of this math problem. I'm thinking about my addition properties. The commutative one would really help here because I want to move my y's close together so that I can solve them. So I'm going to go ahead and move. For visual purposes, you do not have to write this in your notes, but I'm going to move this guy all the way over here so my y's are closer together. So let's rewrite it as such. But before I do that, I want to take note of what I'm doing here. And that is, please write this, commutative prop. Since we know what it is, we can abbreviate that. Okay, let's go ahead and rewrite that. 3/4 y plus negative, yes, please do not forget the negative, negative 1/2 y. Then I'm going to rewrite the rest of the problem so I don't forget it. Plus 12 plus negative 6. Is everyone with me? Now let's talk about something called the distributive property. This should not be a new term to you. What the distributive property is saying that a number or a variable is being multiplied throughout an equation. So let me write that here. Distributive. Remember, you are writing everything I am writing. So what distributive property is doing is saying that this 3/4 and this negative 1/2 is all being multiplied. Yes, these are called brackets. These big ones I'm doing that have a sharp edge, these ones are called brackets, but The 3/4 and the negative 1/2, please write it just as I did, is being multiplied by y. Okay? So you can combine the coefficients just as if they were whole numbers. Now I'm going to go ahead and write the rest of my problem so I don't forget it. I'm going to give you some time to do that. 3/4 plus negative 1/2 y. So please notice that I just simply took the coefficients that were in front of the y and I put them together because I can, because they have the same variable to the same power. And that is called the distributive property. So 3/4 plus negative 1/2 y plus 12 plus negative 6. Okay, I'm running out of room, so I'm going to swipe this page. Okay. Okay, class. Now here we are. Now all we have to do is simply combine these terms that we have. We have a 3/4 plus a negative 1/2. Now whenever I add fractions, what needs to be the same, class? The denominator. So I need to go ahead and change this to, can it become a 4? Yes, it can. Thank you, math book, for giving us an easy denominator. It will become a 4. Please do not forget that negative sign. Now, if I change that 2 into a 4, I technically multiplied it by 2. So whatever I do to the bottom, I have to do to the top. So 1 times 2 is 2. Very good. Okay. Y plus 12 plus negative 6. Okay. So let's simply do that across. 3/4 plus negative 2/4. Now I have here a positive. It's invisible because we just assume it's positive. And then a negative. And then I have an addition. So my rules say find the difference and keep the sign of the larger. So my difference would be 1/4, and I'm going to keep the sign of the larger, which is that positive. And then I can go ahead and put my y together. I don't need the brackets anymore because I simplified it. 1/4 y plus 12 plus negative 6. Aha, I can do something with these. Again, they have a sign and we have this sign. They're different. So we're adding them and we're going to find the difference and keep the sign of the larger. So the difference between 12 and 6, 12 minus 6 is 6. And I'm going to keep the sign of the larger, which is the positive. And I'm going to bring down the rest of my expression. So your answer is 1/4 y plus 6. Very, very good. And for my note-taking purposes, I am going to write what I did here. I combined like terms. Very good. Go ahead and pause it if you need it a little longer to write the notes. Okay, now I want you to try an on your own. So pause it if you don't have it, write your notes down, and I'm going to have you do an on your own. Okay, here it is. Here's your on your own. You can do it. 3/8 b minus 3/4 b. Now when I say minus, you should automatically think popcorn. Smell the butter in the air. Okay, so go ahead and try this on your own. Pause it, work it out, and then I will go ahead and tell you the answer. You can do it! Alrighty, here we go. So, what you did was first you have to popcorn, okay? Now you're looking at the variables and you're looking at the exponent of the variables and you see that it's the same. It's just a b to the first power. It's just a b. So you can combine them. So, I'm going to do the 3/8 plus negative 3/4 in those brackets with a b. Okay, now I'm going to go ahead and add straight across, but wait up. I have to change the denominators into a like denominator, a common one. And so I found that it was 8. And whatever I did to the bottom, to the 4, I had to do to the top, and I multiplied it by 2. So that's how I got that negative 6 over there. Okay? And it's still multiplied by b. Now I can go ahead and do that, and my answer is negative 3/8 b. Awesome job, and if you got that, high five yourselves. And if you didn't, replay this video and figure out what went wrong. Awesome job. You have now completed example 2.